See, Zodiac, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning in to another one. It's Capricorn season. It's construction season. It's time to break some shit and build some shit. It's time to create and initiate some ish, alright? This is all the energies we dealing with when we talking about Cardinal Earth. So, thank you for being here, and I want to get into the influences that we're going to be experiencing with Capricorn season and how it's going to be affecting your zodiac sign, okay? So, first of all, we have to understand when it's a new sun season, when the sun is going into a new constellation, the sun represents awareness, what we paying attention to, what we taking action on, what we're being influenced to take action on. So when the sun goes into Capricorn, you know, we're going to have more of an awareness of the energies we going to be dealing with, understanding what the Capricorn energy is, and then understanding the alignment it's having towards our sun sign. And that's how we're going to understand how the energies we're going to be dealing with that season, okay? How does the sun in Capricorn affect the alignment that your natural sun is in? Is it opposite? Is it square? Is it a sextile? Is it trine? Is it right next door? Is it in conjunction? And that's what we're going to get into. So, Capricorn, Cardinal Earth, ruled by Saturn. So, the sun is coming into an earth element. The earth element is dealing with structure, foundation, practicality, not feelings and emotions, and, you know, more of the right brain energies, more so dealing with that left brain, you know, how you react to what's going on in reality, how you're able to look at your life circumstances through a realistic point of view. But it's Cardinal Earth. Cardinal energy is aggressive, is initiator, it's willing in, it's ushering in. It can be aggressive. When you put that in Earth, this is the archetype to be initiative, where how you structuring things in life. This goes down to career decisions, where you live in, how you view relationships. That's the element itself. So it's going to be in a state of being practical, how it structures and organizes all of these things. Then we have the influence of Saturn. Saturn deals with restrictions, boundaries, more emphasis on structure, building. Okay, Saturn rules time. So having this influence in Capricorn, Capricorns understand the things that they want to build is going to come with some time. Okay, it's birthed out of the 10th house. 10th house governs our social status. 10th house is the midheaven house. This house is the energy that's broadcasted to the world subconsciously. You may not even know people see you as that energy when it comes to your midheaven energy. So a lot of Capricorn energy has to deal with presentation, how you broadcast it to the world, how you are able to broadcast and build stability, or broadcast or build stability off a reputation you might have developed in this life, something you may got known for in this life. How you're able to structure that, organize that, make it work for something, make it concrete, make it solid, make it revenue, make it some structure in your life, make it something that's being used as a tool to organize the reality you're building. Capricorn energy. This is what Capricorns is paying attention to. This is what Capricorns is taking action on. This is what Capricorns are seeing when they're looking at other people's personal issues. The sense of structure. What are you working on? What resources do you have? What's your reputation? What you're known for? What you got experience doing? This is what a Cap paying attention to. I'm a Capricorn moon rising. It ain't my sun sign, okay? And all energies is different when it's the sun in Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn. You know I always say that. But for the most part, now that the sun is in Capricorn, we got to turn on our Capricorn sun signals. We got to be able to, align with the influence of the sun being here. Once again, the sun is going to, once it gets into a new sign, is going to influence the energy that we want to correlate our actions to. We want to make sure we're paying attention to. The sun is going to make its way through 12 different houses. Each house, each sign is a theme. No matter if you're the same element, the same modality, ruled by the same planet, every sign is different. Every house has a different frequency vibration. With the sun transiting this 10th house, We're paying more attention to our career, paying more attention to how people, places, and things in our life complementing, supporting, or being a detriment to what we're trying to build, what we're trying to structure. We're gonna gain more of awareness of our social status and how people perceive us. This is something else we're gonna be able to see this Capricorn season. Whether it's through things people verbally say to you, some comments that's left on your social media, things your family members have said to you, and these alignments all manifest through, depending what your sun and moons are, depending what house the sun in Capricorn is transiting. All right, is the ways these things are gonna happen. But the sun is gonna influence us to see what's going on with the sense of reality in our life. And reality has been a huge theme this year, especially these past couple of weeks with the transits we've been experiencing. If you haven't seen my video on the Great Conjunction, all right, with Saturn and Aquarius conjuncting Saturn and Jupiter conjuncting Aquarius, December 21st, hasn't even been a week, and I'm already seeing so many things from that video, just being seeds being planted, and a little bit of them things coming into fruition. So I might just make a video talking about things I've noticed since December 21st, because the universe ain't wasting no time. Neither are the powers that be. All right. Now, Capricorn season. Yes, the earth element is dealing with structure, career, foundation, stability in your life, material possessions, monetary gains, all right? Some finance situations, elements in there. When we talk about earth energy in its totality. However, those are just the physical manifestations, a lot of what the earth energy deal with. The earth element, the stability within us, the sense of being grounded within us. When we look at our reality, there's a lot going on in your external realm. How are you able to balance your subconscious energies spiritually, your emotions with what you're connected to in the external realm, and be able to still be realistic about the actions and how you correlate and respond to the reality we live in some type of shape or form. All right, this is the things Capricorn season is going to be influencing. So for a lot of us, we about to see the reality of our role in our career, reality of some of what's going on with relationships in our life. So even though it's on emphasizing that earth energy, that principle of reality is going to be influenced through all different types of shapes or forms. So your relationship, you about to see the reality of your relationship, the reality of what's going on in your family home environment, and we're going to be influenced to want to spark a new way to work on these things, spark a new way to tear some of these things down, delete some of these things. Whenever we deal with that Saturn 10th house energy, we're dealing with construction work. We're dealing with some form of, the 10th house could be referred to as like the construction site house. We in that house, we be in that house working on our social status. We be in that house trying to be somebody. We be in the house with the clipboard and the blueprint, trying to see like, oh, this business hasn't been working the past 3 years. Yeah, let's tear that down. Oh, I'm realizing I'm known for this. How can I use that? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, Saturn wants to build. So that's why certain planets in there is going to be beasts. All right. You got Saturn in that 10th house. You're going to know something about structuring with your career and seeing what needs to be torn down and built and learning how to build. You're going to have innate energies understanding that Saturn in the 10th house. Got Mars in the 10th house. You a natural go-getter. You're a natural, when it comes to business and authority, you naturally know how to kind of fill in them shoes. You know how to understand the responsibilities that come with being an authority, come with being a boss. Got that cutthroat energy as well, that aggression, that intention, that passion towards building social status, business endeavors, how you're broadcasted to the world. Certain planets in there might get a little frustrated. Got the moon in the 10th house. All right, gonna get frustrated in there because the moon deal with nurture, connection, the emotional well-being. When you throw it up there, the moon got to react and respond and connect to a whole bunch of motherfuckers tearing shit down, bulldozing things, people not caring, people stealing other people's business, a lot of work towards how we broadcast into the world. All right, a lot of career issues that might be opposite from 4th house, opposite from family environment, some of the things that we care about for the most part, other people, places, and things we care about. So that's like the energy of the 10th house, which is the frequency vibration that gave birth to Capricorn, because the signs were birthed out of these houses. Now, we know, and this is the influence we're all going to be influenced to take action on, pay attention to, how we're taking initiative to work and structure our reality, whether it's, how we're creatively expressing ourselves, the career decisions and pursuits that we have, who we're aligning ourselves with, how we're organizing these things. Capricorn energy has a lot to do with organization. You can look at Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is more so dealing with the organization. Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, is dealing with the association, the networking, the connecting. All right. But the 2 and 2 is going to share both elements, both characteristics in some type of shape and form. Capricorn season is a time where things that are responsibilities that we have in all types of shapes and forms, or there's responsibilities, emphasis on responsibilities business-wise, career-wise, but responsibilities you may have had with certain people, co-workers, responsibilities you may have created on yourself that you had certain goals, and now you have responsibilities upholding these things. All type of quote-unquote responsibilities in our life, we have to get in alignment with these things. We got to make sure if it's a responsibility that we want to continue to work on or not right now. Because if we don't make that decision, the more the sun starts getting up in this. It's 5 degrees now. I wanted to get this video out earlier, so my bad. All right. Once a planet gets into 3 degrees, it's fully in there. So it's 5 degrees right now, but we have a whole season ahead of us. Okay, we're still in the early stages of the first decan of Capricorn. So when Capricorn is here, it's going to be influencing a lot of things that, as far as responsibilities, what you want to detach from. Okay, what you want to put a restriction on right now. What maybe can't have your time right now. Emphasis on time and time management as well during this season. We have to show universe that we respect and honor our time, how we give our time to others, how we utilize our spare time, how we utilize the time that we feel like we may not have to work on things. Universe is paying attention to all of these things and influencing us to do the same right now. All right, family. So these are things we want to keep in mind. Now, let's get into the energies, and let's not forget this is the start of the winter solstice. Let's not forget that neither. Okay, when we get into the winter solstice, this is the energy more so dealing with perseverance, our endurance, what we're working on, our forms of stability. We got animals hibernating. We ain't got no leaves growing right now. I like the fall winter season because it's a real like grind mode type of energy. It's a real cultivate what you're working on. It's a real stay down on what you got going on type of energy. Once we get into spring and summertime, then it's like time to pop out, be expressive, show out or whatnot. You feel me? So universe works in divine ways, family. So happy winter solstice, everybody. That should have been the first thing I said. Happy birthday to all the Capricorns. Happy birthday to all of y'all and all that. It's y'all time to shine. So let's get right into the energies for everybody. And when we talk about the energies, all right. When we talk about the energies, for some of y'all that are new to astrology, I know this channel is, I want to say somewhat fairly new. Okay, as far as the consistency being uploaded, that's been new. That's been new. But we all walk in different paths in life trying to figure it out. All right, family. But for the most part, when I do these readings for the signs, this is the influence you're catching. This is not predicting your future. This is you understanding just by where your sun is at. The sun in Capricorn is going to be making a certain alignment with your sun in some type of shape or form. So depending on that alignment is the energy that you know is coming your way this Capricorn season. This video is to help you have that awareness so you can spiritually prep yourself, have more of a, have more spiritual clarity on what you should be learning, what gifts and opportunities you're working with, things you want to make sure you're paying attention, seeing how to navigate or cultivate what you're working on now to have a positive Capricorn season overall. Okay? Now, let's start with the square signs. The square signs are going to be Aries and Libra. Squares and the opposites. Aries, Libra, Cancer is going to be the opposite. When we're dealing with squares, this is more of a negative friction. Squares is a 90-degree angle. This 90-degree angle creates like a clash. So these two energies are going to have to learn to teach each other something. They're going to have to learn from each other this season. All right? When we talk about squares. When we talk about squares, quote unquote, this is a negative friction. You can look at this as a learning process, something these two energies are going to have to understand from each other within alignment. However, these experiences and situations and influences don't have to stay in a negative energy. The more we embrace the square, embrace the opposite, this is us making sure when that opposite meet, they have something to teach each other. It's making sure when these squares meet, they have something to teach each other. All right? Universe, if you have a square, your opposite, this is universe influencing you to learn something that's opposite from you. All right? Something that's an unfamiliar energy to your sun sign. So you embracing these lessons could end up having a fruitful season, or end up gaining such more of an awareness on how to take action and structure or build structure and build the reality that you're working on in this lifetime. So when we look at the square signs, first we got Aries, cardinal fire. One thing about the square signs, they're all going to be cardinal, the square and opposite signs. So all the cardinal signs square each other. All same modality signs square each other. So when we look at the cardinal signs, cardinal energy deals with initiating, starting. These are the natural pioneers, natural leaders. All right. They deal with vulnerability following these signs. All right. They want to be seen for more so how they could reel something or create something or initiate something or start something. So right now, the square signs, you're going to have to learn how to create and initiate in a different way right now. Do that more so with practicality and the earth element with Capricorn. So for Aries, you guys are cardinal fire. You guys are creating and initiating new ways to deal with how you see and feel. Creating and initiating new ways to deal with your visions, to deal with the feelings you catch. You want to express these things too. It's fire. Fire wants to express, wants to push out. Fire is a masculine energy. So when we have cardinal fire here, this season is going to be an influence of the universe trying to get you to understand that the things that you creatively see, or how you see and feel about your relationships, career, what you're working on, you have to find the gap between the reality of how you see and feel with these situations and what's realistic, what's going on. Aries, you may not like where you're at right now, career, but what's the reality to work on these things and navigate out of it? You may not like the reality of your relationship. How are you addressing it, or being a counterpart, or being an advocate of what you don't like, or you know, maybe pointing out things that you just have a frustration with and not seeing it from a balanced point of view. This is energy you're gonna have to take into all situations in your life during Capricorn season. You guys are super creative. A lot of y'all gonna have an influence this season of seeing how's your creativity being utilized the right way. How are you neglecting one of your creative gifts, or how you're able to deal with your visions and implement your creativity in what you're doing? Is that being neglected as a form of stability, or something you can lean on, be a form of foundation for you guys? Because a lot of y'all just express off the rip, express off the go. That's what makes y'all so creative, because y'all don't put so much thought into the raw form of creative expression, or how you express yourself, period. So are these energies that you've just been naturally expressing so much that you haven't really got to a state to see, yo, can this be used for something? Can this be a business? Can I make money off my creative attributes? Can I slow it down, be more in the present, and understand how my gifts, or how I see and feel about things, can be used as something to build and structure here? All right. This is going to be a season where you guys are going to have to learn to detach from some of the things you may be emotionally connected to, just because you see the potential of it, or you're trying to maybe transform a situation to work in your likely. Maybe you may be dealing with a lot of resistance trying to transform something instead of just detaching it. And this could go down to all type of things dealing with career, relationships, what you're working on, all the things that we stated early in Capricorn season when we saying we're going to be influenced to work on everything, bring structure, and see all of our relationships and circumstances in our life from a realistic point of view. So Aries, because you're so creative, Saturn is also a debilitation in here. So with Saturn being debilitated in Aries, it's kind of difficult for you guys to, you know, deal with more patience and, you know, cultivate more outlets that deal with more longevity and things over time to cultivate your creative expression. You like things that's more right now. Let's get it. Let me just move with the raw flow of things. Universe wants you to put that creativity in a container right now. and find ways to let that build something up in a structured type of way. Okay, so that's what we want to pay attention to, Aries. Like I said, when it comes to your relationships right now, no matter what type of confrontations, if things are going positive or negative, you always want to stay in a realistic state. Continue to embrace connecting, relating to feelings and emotions, because we know you deal with vulnerability, dealing with these things, all right? But continue to express that, but be realistic about, you know, what's being reciprocated. Be realistic about the role you're playing in your relationship right now, okay? Libras. Libra's the other square sign. Libras is cardinal air. So Libras, you guys are initiating new ways to communicate, to relate your ideas, to relate your thoughts. You're creating new ways to, you know, create the subject for the conversation, to create the topic for people to relate to. So this season, with this square in Capricorn, this season, Libras, you guys are going to have to learn to align the way that you're able to initiate forms of relating, or the relationships you've manifested. How do these relationships or forms of communication that you're able to initiate correlate to anything that you're building, structuring, or your reality? We have to see the positive and the negative spectrums of this, Libra. So if you have a certain relationship you're overindulging in right now, you're just living in the pleasure of it, but you're neglecting reality at the moment, you're neglecting some of your responsibilities, Capricorn season is going to hit hard right now. Capricorn season is going to hit hard. Like I said earlier, for all our responsibilities we've been lackadaisical or slacking on, you know, they're going to be knocking on the door, Capricorn season, like, hey, what about me? Where have you been lately? Are you ready to work? You ready to take care of something, handle some business? That's the energy we dealing with. So for Libras, your relationships, these are things you could get lost in, Libra. All right, your pleasures as well. Venus is, you know, your ruling planet is Venus. Now the thing is, for Libras, Saturn is exalted here. Saturn is exalted in Libra. Saturn loves to be in Libra because it likes to be in air elements where it could bring structure and organization through its relationships. Relationships is a huge part of our reality and how we structure and build these things and how we connect and relate to others. So Libras do have they can't overdo how they see their relationships, or how they could utilize relationships in order to get from point A to B. They can't overdo this. So they are looking at life through a practical lens, but we have to understand that Capricorn energy is cardinal earth, so it's creating and initiating new ways to build structure. Libras, you can't depend on your new ways of looking at other people's relationships or how other people build structure or whatnot and try to implement it in your type of way. You know, always getting a reference from how other people do things and whatnot is cool and whatnot, Libra, but it's cardinal season. You have to be your own reference right now, Capricorn season, Libra. You have to be able to see reality through your own independent point of view right now, okay, Libra? And it's gonna be hard to see the reality of your relationships if you're also depending on the advice of your best friend, what your best friend think of the relationship, what your sibling think of your relationship or whatnot. Like right now, you got to be able to, especially with Mars and Aries. Mars just been opposite to Libras. It's just been opposite. So we've been having to learn how to deal with being more individual this season and having that expressed to our relationships and the people that we connect to in some type of shape or form. So Libras, we want to make sure the reality of your relationships is being seen, the responsibilities and the things you want to cultivate, the things you want to build a foundation in business for, stability, the responsibilities you want to tackle in this lifetime, the goals, ambitions, Libra. But what's the realistic way you're acting on these things? And the relationships you're giving a lot of percentage to, how do they support these things? These are the things to think about this season with this square, all right? The more you embrace these situations, the more you're able to detach what you need to detach, your pleasures and values and certain relationships you may be giving too much of a percentage of time to, all right? You may be overindulging in and it's not really supported to anything you're trying to build or anything realistic in your life. This is what you guys are going to have to be able to see. And you're going to have to make leader-like decisions with this cardinal energy on how you're going to initiate new forms of reality in your life by observing these things, okay? But with this influence alone, you're going to be able to see the reality of the situations in your life, how realistic this relationship is, what's the reality of certain things that you're connected to on all people, places, and things, because you're dealing with your one-on-one relationships and how you connect to things on a one-on-one level. You like to scope things out on a one-on-one level. So you could be in a group with a bunch of people, okay, but you have a one-on-one relationship with everybody in there. That's the lens of a Libra. So the more we embrace this square energy this season, Libra, the more you're going to be able to understand, you know, how you may have got lost in some of your pleasures and the things you love to gravitate and make you feel good with your relationships. How some of these people, places, and things may have been throwing you off, and what you've been paying attention to may have been an illusion or just something that was, you know, something you was playing with the moment, a person, place, or thing that you was just connecting to for the moment, for the like of it. Okay, for it could even be for the love of it right now. Libras, you guys are about to see the clash between your love and reality this season. The things that you love, you're gonna see the clash. It's the Venus energy clashing with Saturn. All right. But it's air, so the things that you love or express or connect to or relate to, what's the reality of these things? The more we see that, the more you're going to help get from point A to B, or gain more of an awareness of career decisions, of the things you're working on, seeing different ideas, how you could correlate these things, seeing what could be transformed in that department. All right. Now, the opposites. Cancer, cardinal water, ruled by the moon. This is the leader with the emotions. Cancers invoke the emotion into the room. Cancers invoke the frequency vibration into the room. When a Cancer steps into the room, they're not trying to adapt. They're not trying to react and respond to the energies in there. They come with a presence. They come with a certain tone. It could be worn. It could be worn on their motherfucking shit. It could just be worn in how their temperament. You know, Cancers. We got certain signs that got the best resting bitch faces. All right, the best don't fuck with me faces. You got the Aries, Scorpios, Capricorns, Virgos, Aquarius. Yeah, grill game is crazy. All right, crazy. But a lot of other alignments, just besides our sun sign, be having this wild like that too. Some of us got Saturn in the first house. I got Saturn in the first house. Some of us got you know, like be having. There's all different type of alignments besides just our sun sign, you know. But we definitely, we soon get into the planets through the houses, all right. But Cancer, all right, the opposite, cardinal water ruled by the moon. You guys create the emotions, set the emotional temperament. Think about all the Cancers y'all know. Think about all the Cancer sun, moon, rises, and y'all know. Y'all be having to react to their emotions. Y'all be having to react to how they feel. They leaders with that. That makes them feel vulnerable. They're always being put in a position where they got to react to another vibe. Nah, I'm a leader with the vibe. It could be positive or detriment. This season is opposite. So Cancer, the influences, you guys being in your natural energies and not correlating to the sun, seeing things from a more realistic point of view is going to have you guys coming off more opposing, more unrealistic during this Capricorn season. You guys move with how you feel about things. Sometimes you guys can make a unrealistic decision because you feel a way. And it's high Jupiter energy here. Not just water ruled by the moon, dealing with the emotional well-being and how we react and respond, and our emotional, our emotional intelligence, which Cancers have. It's like what planet I just said is debilitated here. It's like we're having Jupiter influence here. We're having Jupiter influence here. Cancer put a moral, or ethic, or meaning and reasoning on something quick when it comes to their emotions. They stand on principles. They stand on principles that they really feel. All right. Cancer experience something. They have a certain moral. They stick on that. They 10 toes on that. So for the most part, this season, Cancers, y'all gonna have to see a lot of the reality to some of the ways you feel about things. Some of y'all, like, let's say it's a certain relationship that you have, a certain friendship that you have, and then maybe there's a little bit of turmoil. You guys not on the same page right now. Maybe you just may feel a way about something that went on in that relationship, but you still have yet to give yourself a realistic point of view in the relationship or what happened, or admit you're wrong. You just still feel the way you feel, and now that relationship can't move on because that's how you feel. And the other party probably know that's just how you feel. I might as well not work with the Cancer. I might as well say fuck it. Like they and they feelings about this. These situations is gonna be a detriment this season. You guys have to be able to shift that energy and detach emotions from a lot of the things that you know you want to cultivate realistically in your life, as far as the relationships you want, as far as the forms of career, as far as what you're doing to gain stability, as far as how you're experiencing, expressing yourself overall. You have to be able to see, okay, I know my feelings is here, there, and the third, but I want this, that, and the third. How do I realistically go about this? That's the theme for y'all this season, Cancer season. My emotions is here, but I know I want to build and structure this. I know I want this form of career. I know I want this form of reality. How do I go about that? How do I go about this realistically? How do I write this down on pen and paper? All right. Once y'all understand, once y'all get more of a habit of doing that, it'd be free game for y'all. Once Cancer start learning to use more Saturn energy and learn to start being more realistic and pinpointed with their emotional intent, the things y'all reel in, y'all make it look easy. Y'all make it look easy. But sometimes the emotions can overwhelm things that much. The emotional clarity or the emotional well-being could, you know, disturb the clarity you have of how you realistically see things. So this is what we want to be paying attention to this season, Cancer. You beefing with somebody in your family or relationship right now, just try to be as realistic as possible. All right? Not saying to bend your morals or ethics for nobody, but sometimes when we look at that Capricorn 10th house energy, that energy don't deal with emotion. Now, I'm not saying just to be cold-hearted. I'm not to just be saying walk around and be cutthroat all day like how some caps be. All right? And I'm a Cap Moon, I tell you straight up. Like, I done manifested situations in my life. People done told me, like, damn, where's the emotion at? Damn, you so reserved with that. Damn, that's how you feel? Damn, you don't, how do you feel? I done heard that a gazillion motherfucking times. If you're a Cap Moon, you already know. But with this energy, you gotta understand the Capricorn 10th house energy. That energy is dealing with being practical, making sense of things. Detaching the emotion from what has to be structured from a realistic point of view. All right, so with the emotions that we have tied into career, emotions that we have tied into things we're working on, the emotions we have tied into relationship, it's time to shift the reality shift the lens of being a little bit more detached from our emotions, not being cold and numb towards where we can't feel and connect, and we're neglecting our own feelings, but understanding that we have to make sense of what we're dealing with too. There's times where we have to make sense of our feelings and emotions. There's times where we have to provide a realistic environment for us to just let our emotions flow. You want to be in a state where you're not holding back your emotions from anything, but you want to be realistic about the relationships and environments you place yourself in to let your emotions, your ideas, your subconscious be connected, not be neglected, not be restricted, all right? Some of us may be in relationships where we're really truly emotionally connected to somebody, but the reality of it is that there may be a strong restriction or something being placed on how you express yourself. Maybe a strong restriction being placed on something that made you feel at home and you was connected to before you got in this relationship, but you still built a strong vibration towards these things. So this is like a subconscious, we still kind of talk about Cancer right now. All right, Cancer? This is going to be a season for you to see these things. The more you're able to meet the things that you're emotionally connected with more practicality, the more you're going to gain so much of an awareness of certain decisions to make, certain people to work with, connect to, relate to, things, certain people, certain decisions to make with the people, places, and things you care about, decisions within a family, home environment. You're going to have more of a clarity with these things just because you're the opposite sign of this influence. All right? And when we talk about the sun in Capricorn, the sun is also going to be, when the sun is opposite, it sheds a light. So people are going to be seeing your forms of reality or your forms of stability, and also how you deal with your emotional well-being and how you feel about things is going to be on the spotlight. So this is what I'm saying. Once you're in a situation where you're not looking at things more realistically this season, Cancer, in all types of shapes, forms, career, relationships, personal issues, once you in your feelings too much, it's gonna be like a person, place, thing gonna highlight that you in your feelings too much. It's gonna highlight that you being unrealistic. So this is what we wanna pay attention to, my Cancers. Now let's move into the sextile signs. The sextile signs to Capricorn are Scorpio and Pisces, 2 water signs. When we talk about sextile alignments, sextile aspects, sextiles are more of positive, harmonious alignments, okay? These 2 energies in the sextiles have the ability to correlate their energies to help them do what they want to do, all right? To help them, accomplish, manifest their energies in their own perspective, all right? So it could play out as an energy you can utilize, as a tool you can utilize to help you maneuver during this season. So when we look at Scorpio, Scorpio's fixed water, ruled by Mars, co-ruled by Pluto, dealing with deep passions, deep emotion, all right? Very ambitious, goal-oriented, but has a fixed way of how they want to deal with their emotions, relate them, correlate them, express them. They have their fixed individual way how they deal with their emotions. Don't waste your time trying to, lecture Scorpio on how to deal with their emotions. Trust me, it's pretty high priority for them. They're figuring it out. All right. But when I talk to my Scorpios, you have a sextile alignment this season. When I look at the sextile relationship between Capricorn and Scorpio, first of all, you guys both share Mars. Mars is exalted in Scorpio. All right. So this is why Capricorns can be very ambitious, goal-oriented. That influence is supporting that leader-like initiative to create structure. All right. You could see that passion directed in a lot of business endeavors or, career, personal goal pursuits with Capricorns or heavy Capricorn energy individuals. But when we talk about the Scorpio and Capricorn relationship, I look at Scorpio as deep passions, your motivations, okay? Your fixed emotions that you're dealing with, learning how to cultivate, to creatively express to the world. And Capricorn is the structure. Capricorn is the blueprint. Capricorn is, the realistic container for the creativity. Capricorn is the social status that's developed. So this sextile, this season, my Scorpios, you guys want to utilize this sextile energy to align your passions and that heavy intention you guys like to set on your goals and find practical ways to align that. The sun right now, just the influences that is hitting your sun is going to help you guys to see more realistic ways, more practical ways you could communicate, relate, your emotions realistically, or also look at realistic ways to cultivate your passions, cultivate things that you're working on right now. With your relationships right now is going to be somewhat of a clarity to express your emotions in a more effective way, in a more practical, lens, not getting so much caught up into your heavy emotion just by natural alignment. So we want to use this to find some clarity into the things that you have heavy emotional intent in, towards your passions. Once again, the things you're working on, your goals right now. Water loves that earth element because it's like you could view earth as land, all right, as that beach, that shore. And once the water comes along, now you have, that motion of a beach, of a shore. You have that combination. That water has that foundation it could rely on, and then continue to connect to the rest of the body of waves. So in the shape or form, earth signs, earth elements provide forms of stability for, water signs, heavy water signs. Vice versa, water signs help earth signs, loosen up a little bit. Get some water moving through them cracks. Help them deal with different vibrations, different perspectives of the things they may be practically looking at. Let them help them to feel more situations or look at the subconscious of more situations. Earth signs are dealing with the subconscious too. It's a feminine energy, okay? And when I say feminine, more so dealing with receiving. But for the most part, this is the energy you guys are dealing with, Scorpios. You guys are going to gain way more of an awareness of how you can attack your goals right now. You guys are going to have way more of awareness on, what relationships, what circumstances you have right now that could realistically support your passion, support what you're working on. Okay. All of us having a realistic approach, practical approach to what we're structuring, how we're building our reality. You guys are already naturally motivated, naturally goal oriented. So with this alignment, it's going to help you to see the kinks and things you could put in realignment or transform, which y'all guys love to do, or transform to see more of a foundation of what you guys are working on. Now, Pisces is mutable water. So this is more so dealing with Pisces is mutable water ruled by Jupiter. Pisces want to connect to feeling emotions. Pisces want to experience the vibrations and emotions out here to experience. All right. Pisces love people who are open-hearted, open-minded. All right. Compassionate and love being around, creative and imaginative people. Period. People that don't put no ceilings and limitations on, how they could think. Pisces is a real boundless energy, a real limitless energy. They don't put ceilings on how they express themselves, or not so much how they express themselves, but the subconscious, the imagination, what they believe in and whatnot. All right. It's a difference when we start getting into the expression and the realistic cultivation of it. But when we look at Capricorn season alignment with the sextile, Pisces, when it comes to your imagination, When it comes to the things you guys are creatively gifted at, okay, you guys are gonna once again have more of a realistic approach to how you can work and structure these things. Reality is something that a lot of Pisces a lot of Pisces can have manifest a lot of experiences having to really correlate being responsible for certain things. Not just responsible, but the attention to how serious or how to look at something from a practical lens. You guys are a real subconscious energy, and you can relate a lot of things to the emotions in the past as well. So there's certain times, especially with the Neptune influence dealing with illusions and that more of an emphasis on that subconscious, esoteric dream-like energy, could lose sense of reality, lose sense of how you realistically working on something, lose sense of the reality of your relationship based off the feel of it, okay? Jupiter is dealing with wisdom, but Jupiter likes to look at things from a philosophical standpoint. Sometimes you got to be able to get a little detached from the philosophical standpoint, be able to observe something practically. So when it comes to career, your relationships, personal pursuits, goals, ambitions, things that you want to cultivate out of your imagination, this season is going to be way more of an awareness to see how to realistically work on these things. Scorpios and Pisces, okay? Capricorn also represents, once again, how you're broadcasted to the world, social status, the legacy you're trying to build, the marathon you're running in this life, marathon of success that you're climbing for the most part. All right, so there's going to be a lot of clarity how to utilize your creative abilities, your subconscious gifts, things that you may not have expressed or used before. That's a subconscious thing, a more intuitive gift or something. How can I utilize this to and when we say structure our reality, it doesn't necessarily have to mean business or make money, but is there something that you possess, Pisces, Scorpios, that can be implemented more in your life? You can take more action on it to help you with something realistically going on in a relationship, in career or whatnot. It's a great season for you guys to implement these things because you got a sextile energy. So you guys taking more action on the subconscious energies. You guys taking more action on how you realistically, creatively express yourself, how you express yourself and try to express your realistic point of view in certain relationships or whatnot. How you create more practical containers for your gifts, okay, to bring some form of stability. You guys are gonna just be able to have access to get a little from point A to B quicker now with this alignment. So this is what you guys want to pay attention to. Now my trine signs, Taurus and Virgos. When we talk about trines, this is same element signs. All right, we're in Earth season. Trines gonna bring opportunities. This is another positive alignment. The opportunities come just from being in that natural archetype, in that natural element. By default, you guys are going to be able to see things a certain way. So with the sun in Capricorn, the other earth signs, the other trine signs are Taurus and Virgo. When you look at the trine signs, you could look at, Capricorn's Capricorn birthday, Capricorn in the strip club. All right, they throwing a bunch of ones in the strip club, throwing a bunch of money. There's a bunch of bottles. Everybody getting Capricorn free bottles and whatnot. People giving Capricorn money to throw money. And Capricorn, that'd make Capricorn day. Capricorn be like, I'm spending money on my own birthday. I don't even like spending money like that. Y'all making me spend money. Yeah, bro, buy my bottles. buy my bottles. Give me some bread to throw. It's my birthday. Let me see how to use y'all. Let me see how to use my resources to build something on my birthday. I still gotta build on my birthday. But for the most part, all these bottles, all these ones, all this bills just in VIP. Right now, Taurus and Virgos, y'all just in a section by default because it's your cousin birthday. It's just your other element sign birthday. So you just naturally got invited to VIP. You naturally got invited to the section. So it's free bottles. It's free bills. It's opportunities this season, Virgos and Taurus. Your thing already is career, stability, your responsibilities, how you working on things, seeing things from a practical lens. These are the things you guys already tackle on an everyday basis. This is the psyche and the approach you guys already have towards your relationships. And the marathon and the quest of how you're gonna work on things. If you have a goal or if you have a goal or a certain pursuit, certain aspiration, Taurus, Virgos, you guys get real detail oriented in a practical fashion of how you're gonna structure this. So when we look at Taurus is fixed earth ruled by Venus. This is fixating your forms of reality, earth, fixating your forms of reality by the ways we deal with our value system, by the ways we deal with the people, places, and things that we value, by the ways that we express and connect to our values, by the ways we plant seeds into our values, by the ways we utilize the possessions and what we already have. Venus energy, and Venus dealing with what we love, appreciation, support. So Taurus, they're about that self-esteem energy, especially when it comes into that career stability aspect of life. So this season, Tauruses, you guys are going to manifest natural opportunities to see how you could take more of an individual action on what you're working on, to see more of a reality of your value system, the people, places, and things that you value. Maybe a person that you was valuing at one time, at some type of a person that you was valuing recently, or relationship you was valuing, I should say. Not only are you going to be able to see the reality, to that situation, you already look at your relationships from a practical lens, but with the sun being in Capricorn, it's going to be more of an awareness how this relationship can be utilized, or how this relationship can support what you already value, what you plant seeds into your value. This season's going to show way more of an awareness on what you already have in your resources, Taurus. All right. So for a lot of y'all out there that's trying to get things in the ground, trying to plant seeds into things that y'all value, as long as y'all stay in the energy of, staying consistent with what is it you're working on, aspiring to be, aspiring to accomplish, aspiring to broadcast to the world, create some form of stability, Capricorn, 10th house energy, you're going to see what you really do have. And this has come down to resources, material relationships, the resources of your relationships, but on a subconscious level too, your values, what you're good at, your talents. You guys are going to be able to see more of these things and how they could be used. Once again, Capricorn season, Saturn is we want to use and build this season. Now, so yeah, you guys are going to gain more of awareness of these things. All right, gain more of awareness of the value you feel like you have to offer the world that can be structured into a blueprint, because it's cardinal earth. So you already got a fixated value. Now we want to dive more into these things to see what can be initiated or started or be added on to what you're working on. All right. Now, Virgos is mutable earth, ruled by Venus. Oh yeah, and another thing for Taurus. Remember, it is construction time. It is construction time for everybody, regardless of the alignment. It is construction time. So, even Scorpios and Pisces is a sextiles, but Scorpios, you guys are going to have construction to do when it comes to your passions and seeing the things you're emotionally connected to. Pisces and Scorpios, seeing the things you guys are emotionally connected to that has to be bulldozed. All right, that ain't a realistic situation supporting your reality. All right. Now, Tauruses and Virgos, you guys are going to see, Tauruses are going to see things that they value, that they're going to want to do construction on. It's going to be certain relationships, certain concepts, goals that you may have value, seeds that you may have wanted to, you getting ready to plant. It's going to be certain things that you're going to be able to see, like how to work on it, or you may want to have more patience before you implement it. Or necessarily you're going to see something, a person, place, or thing, concept, goal that you was valuing, that you're going to be able to look at it like, I might not want to do that right now. I might not want to plant a seed on that right now. Restrictions, Saturn and the restrictions. But it's as long as we're conscious of where we're putting our restrictions, how we're using Saturn. Saturn builds discipline. All right. Saturn teaches patience. Saturn wants to build stability, but there's principles within how we build that. All right. So Tauruses, you're going to be able to key in on these things way more. Virgos, mutable earth ruled by Mercury. So you guys are mutable and adaptable, changeable towards forms of stability, changeable towards, willing to be influenced towards how somebody else has a realistic approach to something, a practical approach to something, to see if you can add it on to how you was already realistically, practically looking at things, Virgo. But you rule by Mercury, so you can be very detail oriented, way more detail oriented than the Capricorn and the Taurus sign. But all earth signs somewhat have a great attention for detail, because it's dealing with common sense, it's dealing with practicality. Now, when we look at, and this is what the sun is in, so if you got your sun in the sign, that's what your sun paying attention to. Now, Virgos, so you guys are going to manifest natural opportunities to see more of a detail of how you can initiate or create a new form of stability, a new reality, a transformation to a new reality, whether it's through career support, what you're working on already, things at the workplace, forms physical transformation. You guys already rule health and fitness. So for the most part, these are a lot of things that the sun by default in Capricorn gonna make you pay attention to. You already see the details of things. You're already dealing with regimen. You're already subconsciously thinking about what you need to schedule and organize, whether you schedule and organizing it or not. It's on your subconscious. All right. So just by the sun being in Capricorn is a light hitting you, and this light is helping you to see the details of the things that you naturally seen to career, what you're working on. And now it's going to be more of awareness how to take action on these things, more of an awareness on how to initiate a career goal, or more of an awareness on how to more of an awareness. You guys are gonna have more of an awareness of how you're broadcasted in your relationships. This is Taurus and Virgos. You guys are gonna have more of an awareness how you broadcasted in your relationships, the reality of your relationships once again. So it's like, this is not a season where you wanna, because you guys are gonna catch influences to want to initiate or start something or express something new. So as long as this is backed by something that you want to structure, you want a part of your new reality, this is the season to run with it. This is a great season, both Taurus and Virgos, to implement new things, creatively express new things, because you're in alignment with the sun. Scorpios and Pisces as well. All right, Scorpios and Pisces as well. Just by default, the sextile and trine signs have a bit of sunlight that's hitting them and when sunlight is hitting you, your creativity, your personal expression, all forms of expression can gravitate more. It's being seen more. All right. Now, the neighbor signs, Sagittarius and Aquarius. Okay, Sagittarius, mutable fire, ruled by Jupiter. All right, so this is the spread, the exchange of the expression, of the enlightenment, of the insight, of the awareness, of the creativity. Sagittarius just want to enlighten that, have that or catch that influence and be enlightened and inspired. Okay, they want to be expressive of their knowledge and wisdom and what they gain from their experiences. So right now, whenever we're dealing with the neighbor signs, because the sun or whatever energies next door, you guys are going to be able to pick up and see a different way of how to deal with that energy, because it's, it's right next to you. So just by default, you're seeing a different perspective than the other signs. So with the sun in Capricorn, Sagittarius, you're mutable fire. So you're naturally having a broad perspective, or wanting to expand on your knowledge and wisdom based off what your experience is. And you guys have a way of developing your own morals and principles of life just through your personal experiences, regardless of what you may have been taught. You guys also going to attract heavy Sagittarius energy. Heavy Sagittarius and Pisces energy attract a lot of teachers, and y'all seek a lot of teachers anyways on your own. So you're really gonna find a Sagittarius, Pisces ain't got like some YouTube accounts they ain't learning from, or they subscribe to a good number of spiritual accounts. They got some teachers in their life. All right, but for the most part, okay, Sag. A lot of lessons y'all gotta learn to deal with in this lifetime, and dealing with reality too. All fire signs for real. Aries, Saturn is actually debilitated here. Leo, Saturn is opposite there, so it's detriment there. All right, and then when we look at Sagittarius, you guys are a square Virgo, so the lesson you learning from Virgo is learning to be more structured and organized with your knowledge and wisdom, taking your knowledge and wisdom and creativity and seeing ways you could build and utilize it. Okay, the fire energy is real spontaneous and expressive, so at times it burns through reality, doesn't get a chance to resonate in the present to make something quick enough before it burn out. So Sagittarius, you guys are going to be seeing a whole new way you could utilize your creativity, your knowledge, wisdom to add to how you broadcast yourself to the world, to develop more of a social status for you. Sagittarius, you guys are going to be seeing a whole bunch. You guys about to gain a whole new awareness about how, not just an awareness about how you're broadcasted, how people see you, but a whole new awareness about how what you've experienced in this lifetime is helping you to understand what your social status should be, the direction for your social status. You guys you're not, water signs like to reflect on their experiences a lot because it's dealing with the past, but Jupiter's Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is dealing with your experiences, so Sagittarius do like to dawn on their experiences a lot. They do like to dawn on what the meaning of something, what the meaning of an experience meant. And they can be superstitious, seeing how things correlate to each other and whatnot, synchronicities and whatnot. So right now, having the sun transit in Capricorn and we all being influenced to initiate new ways to build structure, creativity is your thing. Your knowledge and wisdom, your educational pursuits, that's your thing, Sagittarius. So you looking at that, how does that stabilize me more? You guys may be sizing up your career right now, looking at your career or whatnot, seeing if your form of education matches what you're working, matches your form of reality right now. And you're going to be charged up to want to take more of initiative on these things because it's going to be like a new awareness about things. All right. So we want to make sure that practicality element, that reality element is initiated in whatever new ways of formulating and putting your creativity in a container to help it grow and actually build into some form of foundation right now. You guys have a bunch of wisdom, but is that wisdom correlating to your actual reality? And if not, if you feel like you have a lot of holes in that department, you got a lot of wisdom, but you got to start making something concrete out of it. This season is going to help you to gain awareness on how to do these things. All right, Sag? Now, Aquarius. So Aquarius, you guys are fixed air ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Uranus. So you're dealing with an individual and fixed way of communicating your thoughts and ideas. All right, you want to be seen as an individual. You have ways of expressing yourself and relating yourself, even though you're air and dealing with communication and relationships. You still have a way of relating yourself with a separate, detached space between you and the collective, you and your partner or whatnot. So when we look at these energies, you're ruled by Saturn. All right, you're ruled by Saturn. So you already deal with the energies of restriction, limitations, boundaries, understanding you got to place these things in certain areas with your relationships. You understand that, you know, whatever is being organized in Capricorn has to be communicated, networked, or associated in some type of shape or form. You understand that you want to be around or be a part of certain organizations that you could pour into, and this organization could somewhat pour back into you or pour into, you know, the collective by how you add into it individually. So Aquarius is y'all deep with how y'all connect to others in the external realm, how y'all bring abstract thoughts into the external realm, abstract influences for us to look at things from different perspectives in a real unique way. With the sun transit in Capricorn, all right, before it heads into y'all sign, you guys are gonna be seeing a bunch of new ways to organize the things that you've been networking and associating. Once again, Capricorn is the organization, feminine side of Saturn. Aquarius is the masculine, air, connect, push out, relate, express side of Saturn. It wants to connect and put in the light the things that it's been organizing in a Capricorn. So this season is going to be a whole new awareness about your relationships. You're going to feel like, because you're going to gain an awareness about new ways to initiate things that you're trying to build, new ways to express, you know, things or connect things that you want to build to others. So you being in this, in more of an emphasis of this frequency vibration, you're going to be looking at your relationship, seeing if they can be dependable. You're going to be looking at who you're associating and organizing yourself with right now, seeing if these relationships have the substance to uphold, or can you network and associate and relate to these people the new ways that you want to work on things. So you guys are already dealing with reality and finding ways to structure your reality, especially how you deal with relationships. So it's going to be a huge emphasis on the reality of your relationships, but a whole new awareness on how you could take things that you're organizing and push them out. Whole new awareness about how you're broadcasted on social media and how you could possibly utilize more of social media or transform how you're utilizing technology and forms of communication in social media to build or get from point A to B to, you know, some of your personal pursuits, what you're trying to creatively express. All right. The sun deals with creativity, y'all. So, you know, whenever the sun is hitting us in a certain alignment, is that whatever planet energy is hitting is going to be a influence of creation, influence of expression hitting that sign, whether it's learning, whether it has the gift or opportunity to align with it, or whether it's opposite and clash with it. Got to learn how to deal with formal expressions and creativity. So Aquarius is right next door. So you're going to have like a real inspiring spark. The sun is getting ready to head into your sign. So it being next door, you already feeling like, okay, 2021, a lot of Aquarius is right now feeling like 2021 my year. Okay, I'm getting into readings for everybody for the going into January 2021. But for the most part, Aquarius, you can feel that light somewhat next door. You can feel it more of an opportunity to express, to get things that you've been working on in the light. Okay, to gain more attention for these things. So it's having more of a practical approach about how you're utilizing your relationships. You know, what needs to be transformed. Construction time, but you got the Saturn element, so you don't mind doing that, but you don't want to be in the head with it. Aquarius says we got the sun detriment here in Aquarius, so you won't be too stuck in your head right now. You see something that needs to, you know, be organized, structured, Aquarius, you know, don't look at it lackadaisical this season. It's prepping you for when we get into your season. All right, Aquarius. And last but not least, my in conjunction signs. This will be Gemini and Leo. When we talk about in conjunction alignments, in conjunctions are almost opposites. Okay, so the opposite sign from Capricorn is Cancer. But when we look at the signs that's next to Cancer, we have Gemini and we have Leo. So by default, it plays out as, you know, it's some resistance here, some restriction here. All right, we could say it's somewhat of a negative alignment, so it's going to be some energies to learn here. All right, you already know I'm so family. Shout out to Dolo the pilot, man. I use a lot of his terminology. Okay, but for the most part, when we look at the in conjunction signs, he likes to label them as misunderstandings. Okay, and that's like the perfect word to label them, because when we look at in conjunctions, almost opposites. So sometimes in certain scenarios, that sun and Capricorn energy, at times it's hard to get on the same page with a Leo and a Gemini. Okay, just based off miscommunication, misunderstandings, the different forms of expression or relating ideas or whatnot. So when we look at Gemini's mutable air, ruled by Mercury. So we got the communicator sign, the detail-oriented sign, the curious sign, the sign that knows how to gain information from others, the sign that knows how to scope out the environment and peep their familiar surroundings out. All right, very aware of their surroundings. Okay, very intelligent, witty. Ruled by Mercury, once again, detail-oriented. Can't forget that. So when it's in conjunct, when the sun is in Capricorn with this in conjunction angle, there's going to be situations, Gemini, this season where you're going to have to learn to be more realistic about how you communicate to others in your relationships, who you're communicating and dealing with, all right, who you're choosing to give a percentage of time to, because, you know, once again, we're this Capricorn season, the emphasis on how we manage our time, how we honor and value our time. Universe is watching that. Geminis, you guys love dealing with that relatable communication energy. All right, you love going on your curious adventures, testing the waters with new forms of communicating to new people. All right, being in new social environments, or just dealing with new forms of relatability. So this season, you guys have to be more practical about what you're working on and how the relationships that you're very open to, the relationships you're open to a lot of critique or detail or ideas, or you like to brainstorm with, being very organized and structured about the environment the environment and the relationships you're choosing to build with right now, because it's going to be an influence to you for you wanting to structure your reality, you know, get things more in order, take care of more responsibilities, like we're all influenced. But a lot of the things by default as a Gemini that has to be organized and structured, all your relationships, all right, we're dealing with air, and the relationships and how you're relating to others can be on the mind a lot, because Mercury is always analyzing how other people relate to each other and whatnot. So how do we take that knowledge? How do we take what you experience from forms of, you know, from your relationships or whatnot, and build some stability from that? How do we implement that, what we learned from relationships, or what you picked up on others, or the opportunities you may have created from some of your relationships? How do we continue to build more stability that makes some fruitful relationships stronger, more of a foundation? We're going to detach from more relationships that we don't really want that type of frequency vibration in our new reality. This is the influence you're going to be receiving this month, Gemini. There may be some miscommunications when you express yourself. Once again, misunderstandings when you express yourself. If you're in the state of just expressing the details of what's on your mind, not really being in a state of being really serious, just expressing whatever comes to the head, that may come off, a little misunderstanding with people right now. I mean, people may look at you a little off right now just because of this natural alignment. So you want to keep that in mind. You're going to see more of a reality based off how you express yourself. It's going to be this season. You're going to be placed in situations to see more of a reality of how you're broadcasted to yourself in your relationships, but also based off of how you talk, how you express. Like, universe is going to put the light for you to see what thoughts you should keep to yourself, what concepts you should keep to yourself, all right? What things you should be more expressive of and take more action on, what thoughts you should take more action on. The way it manifests is the way it manifests, whether it's through somebody telling you a certain experience and you catching those heavy feelings and thoughts and that influence, but some type of shape or form. That in conjunction angle is shown, is the lesson of Gemini and Capricorn having to learn to align a sense of practicality with the relationships when we have earth and air alignments. Okay. So yeah, Gemini, this is what you want to understand this season. Leos. All right, my Leos. Now, when you look at the Leo and Capricorn in conjunction, Leo's fixed fire, ruled by the sun. A lot of creativity here, a lot of expression here. A lot of connecting to your visions and your insight here, and being very consistent on how you want to present yourself, express yourself. Okay, so one thing that Capricorns and Leos do have in common, even though they're in conjunction, is their presentation and how they broadcast it to the world. That's both high priority or high on the subconscious and conscious mind of a Leo and Capricorn. But for the most part, let me not say subconscious so much. The moon does deal with subconscious energy. But when we look at this in conjunction, Saturn detriment in Leo. Saturn detriment in Leo. So Leos need to learn how to actually put restriction and limitation on their forms of expression sometimes, aka knowing when to be more timely about expressing themselves on the stage, or having somebody else get the light, or going out your way to get the attention or whatnot. You got to learn to be more practical about these things and learn to look at situations more realistic. All fire signs by default going to be dealing with some energies where you have to look at things and be more in the present this season, my fire signs, all right? You don't want quick decisions, impulsive decisions this season to lead you into certain transformative situations just because we in the earth season. We want to be more practical, more in the present, make more sense of things, pace things out, more observe, analyze more, sink more into the thought a little bit more before we act and express, be more structured and detail oriented. So with the Leo here, you guys naturally want to express your creativity the way you see and feel, all right? You in a certain relationship, you guys, it's hard for you guys to hold back your tongue when it comes to expressing your point of view, how you see and feel about things. But this season, universe is going to test you to see if you're being realistic about what you're expressing. If you're not just going off of how you see and feel things in your relationship, are you being realistic, or are you just going about how you feel and see, or what you want to put in the stage, what you want to express, or what emotion you want to be seen right now? In the career area of life, it's going to be more of an influence of how you're aligning your creativity with what you're doing to stabilize yourself. A lot of Leos, you guys, could feel like your job environment could be a restriction. Like Leos and Pisces could feel a lot of restriction in the workplace. A Leo and another sign could be in the same job, but the Leo could feel way more restriction than other people feel there, because it's the sun. The sun doesn't really deal with that Capricorn Saturn restriction energy well. So not only are you going to most likely manifest situations where in some type of shape or form, a person, place, or thing might try to restrict your form of expression. So you're going to have to be wise to see if this is universe utilizing this person, place, or thing to show you, Leo, see, this is what we're talking about. Learn to be more wise about your expression, or being more realistic about how you creatively express yourself, Leo. Who you connect to, more realistic about your relationships. You got to be wise that you don't take these things that people clashing with you, and you kind of be able to look at it from a broader point of view and see if people trying to help you out and look out for you, especially the people that fuck with you. All right, people that you truly connect to, Leo. But more of an emphasis on, seeing that would be the misunderstandings you would develop, but we want to align and see how you could be more realistic, create more of a container, do some construction work to express your creativity, to have your expression seen in a more realistic way, to have your creativity not just being dormant and thrown in the air where you're actually receiving something, you're making something from it. It's adding onto your reality or your social status, how you broadcasting yourself in some type of shape or form. All right, Leos, that's what y'all want to keep in mind. And last but not least, my Caps. All right, my Capricorns. Listen, man, happy birthday once again. It's your time to shine. All right, it's your party. All right, let your hair down. All right, throw a little one in the club or whatnot. I mean, I know y'all ain't gonna take that advice. I know y'all be frugal and all that. I know y'all be trying to keep what you got in your pockets and all that. All right, till you really got it. Saturn be placing all the restrictions. Like, nah, I ain't throwing no ones. I know it's my birthday, but shit. Throwing ones. I mean, first of all, this was a surprise party. I wasn't even planning this. Like, I know it's my birthday. Like, how y'all just gonna throw a surprise birthday for me in the strip club and then I gotta throw my own money? Y'all tweaking tonight. Y'all bugging tonight. All right. So, but let me stop playing. Capricorns, happy birthday, happy solar return. It's your time to shine. It's your time to embrace the stage, creatively express yourself. Let your individuality be seen. Push out new projects, do new things, express some energies people haven't seen before, some projects you're working on, a gift you've been cultivating, a new business idea. It's time to shoot. The floor is yours. The sun is on you, Caps. All right. So for the most part, y'all, that's the influence when the sun is in your constellation. So it don't matter if it ain't your birthday. If you're a Capricorn but it ain't your birthday yet, it don't matter. The sun ain't get to your degree. All right, the sun didn't get to your degree, but the sun is lighting up that whole constellation. So right now, the things that Capricorns are working on or want to creatively express to the world, these things can be seen more. You guys are going to have more of an attention for these things. You're going to have more of an influence to take more authority on what you're working on. You're gonna have an influence to, feel like you gotta boss up some more this season, Capricorn, especially if you feel like, you're not really in motion, or, you haven't implemented, initiated things that you want to work on or be seen for your social status. That inspiration is gonna be huge this season. So regardless of where you at in life, Capricorn, utilize this energy right now. Utilize that sun to gain an awareness of how you about to work on something right now. Utilize that sun to see your relationships, to see which of these relationships have resources that you've always been able to connect and build with others, but you've just been neglecting for some type of form. Sun is in your season right now. Okay, so when I say you guys don't want to boss up and take more of an authority on things, you got with great power come great responsibility. So y'all got to be careful who y'all bossing around right now, or who y'all giving orders right now. Right now, y'all might be trying to give y'all grandmother orders for some shit right now, and it's like, damn, Granny, damn well Granny could barely even go up and down in the elevator by herself. You talking about Granny, why this, that, and third. Like, I'm reaching y'all, but y'all get it. Y'all just don't want to do too much with the authority right now. Y'all just don't want to, come off like y'all have the ultimate structuring plan for things, because this is what y'all do. Y'all know how to see. Y'all know how somebody else could structure something. You know how somebody could utilize their gifts or something to organize and make money from it, start a business or whatnot. You see these things. So just be careful on the role that you try to play in other people's lives, trying to get them to act on things. Your advice and your wisdom is going to be heavily accepted and resonate way more than often right now. But utilize this sunlight energy towards gaining awareness on what you want to act on, what you're currently building on, or how you can create and initiate something to build your new reality, Capricorns. Alrighty, so family, y'all already know what it is. Hope this energy influence help you guys to understand what you're currently dealing with right now, how to navigate through these things, give you guys a perspective on the energies we're already experiencing. We're 5 degrees into it, so you guys may have already started experiencing these influence like this. All right, we're going through all different type of shifts right now. And once again, our physical reality and what we're doing to influence that, structure that, gain more power in that. You know, cultivate our individuality through our reality. These things are on Front Street right now. They're high priority, family. I'm telling you, there's going to be moments next year where people are either going to be saying, why didn't I take advantage of 2020? Why didn't I take advantage of them goals I set in Capricorn season in the beginning of the winter? Because now the forms of stability is just, everything's being transformed now. You got to rely more on your individuality, you know, how you could personally structure things in your life, how you could cultivate your creativity, how you could take a risk, how you could take a leap of faith, how you could climb that ladder for success, what your durability and endurance is like. These things are going to be tested this Capricorn season. All right. So for some of us that got natural gifts and opportunities, don't want to take advantage, and you want to be very conscious and wise how you utilize and, you know, implement this energy into your life. And, you know, from our squares and opposites and conjunctions, y'all already understand that square, opposition, and conjunction, these are things to learn. And the more we learn, the more we expand in this lifetime. So there's a lot of fruitful things to come out of this season for you guys. We just wanted to have an awareness of what we're going to be experiencing so we know how to move. All right, family. So until next time, y'all already know the vibes. Check out the Patreon if you're new and you still made it to the end. Subscribe and all that. Do yourself a favor and let's continue to build this esoteric community. Until next time, family, check out my website. Peace.